What's up, guys? We are back with a full NBA slate here on Wednesday, December 11th. We're going to break down both NBA Cup quarterfinal games on the night and look at bets for the side and over-under. We also have a ton of player props loaded up and ready to go. If you want to win all of your bets today, hit that like button. It's good luck and shows support for the channel and all the hard work we're putting in every single day. Subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on our daily content. All of our videos, guys, are sponsored by StumpTheSpread.com. We have a team of experienced cappers over there for every major sport, currently covering NFL, NBA, NCAA football, UFC, NHL, and NCAA basketball. This is one of the best times of the year to be in the mix with so many sports going on. Click the link in the description if you're interested in signing up and also to join our free email list to get the occasional free or premium pick straight to your inbox. Comment below with any bets you're looking at today and we will give you our best advice on all of them. We are committed to responding to every single comment every day, so let us know anything you want to say about my picks, these videos, or anything you see here. As always, our favorite picks will be in the pinned comment down below. Also, guys, I got some antibiotics going. This Rudolph nose is going to be going away very, very soon, but I appreciate all the kind and all the hilarious messages of people reaching out down there in the comments. Now, guys, let's get into our first game of the day. We've got the Atlanta Hawks going on the road to take on the New York Knicks. The Hawks come into this game fresh off a 141-111 blowout loss there against the Nuggets. Obviously, leading up here to the, NBA Cup quarterfinals, they've had plenty of time off. This game happened back on December 8th, so, they had plenty of time to rest and regroup after, one of their worst games in recent memory because the Hawks have been going on quite the little run here recently. I mean, charging up the standings, they're up to, over 500 now, 13-12 on the season. They had a pretty cool, very close, albeit win there against the Lakers, a nice win against the Bucks. They knocked off the Cleveland Cavaliers a couple of times. This team has been absolutely killing it lately. A lot of that's been due to some adjustments made by Trae Young. He's definitely been, taking a little bit of a step back, being more of a facilitator, less of a super high volume shooter, but he'll pull it when he needs to. Even in a blowout loss against the Nuggets, guys, he had 10 assists, 15 points, was only a -5 out there. In a game they lost by 30 points. It's pretty impressive to have kept things that close. We've seen DeAndre Hunter kind of take over that volume shooter, role there. Coming off the bench, he had 20 points in that loss against Denver, but he's been playing really, really well here down the stretch. And one of the biggest stories coming out of this team has been the emergence of Dyson Daniels as an absolute powerhouse there defensively. He's been stopping some very good players, being insanely disruptive, really throwing off everything and some of these opposing teams are trying to do against the Hawks on offense. Dyson Daniels is right there creating tons of deflections, just a very high motor, high effort player, and his shooting numbers have gotten significantly better, guys. He was 7 of 15 from the field in his last game for 18 points, and he's just been playing really, really well down the stretch, guys. I mean, in addition to that insane defense, he's putting up double-digit scoring most nights, some very reasonable assist numbers. Over his last 3 games, he's had 6, 5, and 6 assists, and putting up some blocks, putting up crazy steal numbers, guys. He's got 5, 4, 3, 4, and 2 steals over his last 4 games. Crazy stuff there from Dyson Daniels. He is emerging as one of the most impressive young defenders in the NBA this season. So a lot of good things going on right now for the Atlanta Hawks. I mean, in terms of their injury report, it's looking a little bit crowded, but most of these guys we fully expect to be at basically 100% here for this game. I mean, Trae Young, DeAndre Hunter, Jalen Johnson, all of them are on the injury report. But yeah, Trae Young, he's probable there. He's had a sore Achilles for a while. That's not going to keep him out of this game. DeAndre Hunter, he comes into this one also probable, still kind of dealing with, I would say, the ghost of a knee issue, but he's been fine. He's been playing great. And Jalen Johnson there with a shoulder issue. That's more of a real injury. He's technically questionable for this game. I fully expect him to play, but that is at least something we could see as a possible, could hold him back a little bit. So we'll see how that goes. The dude's averaging 20 points per game, coming off kind of a down night there against the Lakers, though, only 12 points. So yeah, not his best ever, but he did have 10 boards and 7 assists. So you're like, oh, what am I going to say? He had 6 turnovers. I guess that was the worst thing he did, but he's been playing relatively well. Also, we see Bogdanovich, and that's pretty much the end of the injury report there. I mean, Bogdanovich with that quad issue, he is questionable for this game. I fully expect to see him play as well. So overall, I think the Hawks, despite having a kind of crowded looking injury report, are actually relatively healthy for this game, and they came in this one playing pretty well. Not a lot of negative things for me to say here about the Hawks. Playing some pretty nice basketball, especially compared to what we've seen from them at other points this season. But they need to play really well here in this NBA Cup game, playing on the road at Madison Square Garden against the New York Knicks. They come into this game, guys, winners of 5 out of the last 6 overall. Their last game was a very close 113-110 win there over the Toronto Raptors. That game, what day was that on? I believe it was back, yeah, it was on December 9th. So they're technically, on one less day of rest, but still with a couple days here, I don't think that's a big deal. I think the Knicks are going to be rested and ready to go. In that 5-point win against Toronto, been a little bit of a tougher out than we would have expected, at least at some different points this season. We saw the starting lineup do the vast majority of the heavy lifting here for the Knicks. I mean, Karl-Anthony Towns, a plus 10, 24 points from him, 2 of 5 from 3, and 15 rebounds. He's been an absolute monster for the Knicks. The clear head, shoulders, knees, and toes winners of that trade, guys. They fleeced the Timberwolves, it looks like. I mean, Julius Randle looking very mediocre. DiVincenzo looking much, much worse as a Timberwolf than he did as a Knick. And yeah, Cat has just fit right into this lineup. Very few hiccups along the way. I would say their defense is maybe taking a little bit of a hit, not because of him though, and maybe their depth takes a little bit of a hit. But now with Precious Achiuwa back, that seems to have cleared itself up a bit, and Miles McBride seems like he's healthy after dealing with some injury problems, in the midst of this season. So loving what we're seeing from the Knicks. Jalen Brunson, 20 points in his last game. Very good stuff out there. 11 assists. Hart continues to play his super high, super high energy, super high efficiency, usually style play. OG Anunoby has these crazy, crazy bursts of just brilliance out there. You never know when that's going to happen, but all of a sudden you'll look up and, oh my God, OG Anunoby's having one of those days where he's going to score 25 or 30 points. So yeah, that's been nuts. One maybe problem has been the shooting of Mikal Bridges, but he's been shooting the lights out over the last couple games. He was 5 of 8 there against the Raptors for 23 points, and he was a +9. So very, very good stuff from this Knicks team that, continues to play their starters a ton of minutes and, just continue in general to play pretty good defense, but they've been a high octane, high scoring offense this season. That's been the main change we've seen from last season to this one with that big trade. So we'll see what they can do here, guys, in their first NBA Cup game here in the quarterfinals. In terms of their injury report, it's looking relatively good. We do see Josh Hart and Cat on the injury report, but other than that, it's looking clean. Josh Hart questionable for this one with a left sprained ankle. I don't think that's going to keep Josh Hart out of this game. It did not look that bad. I mean, he played 32 minutes there against Toronto. I fully expect him to suit up for this game. Obviously, an ankle issue. It's more of a worry that he, rolls it again in this game and, ends up playing vastly reduced minutes. But he's been one of the, toughest guys in the NBA in recent memory, so I'm not too worried about his availability. Cat, on the other hand, dealing with his knee issue, it seems like a very, very minor issue. He's officially probable for this game. He's coming off of playing 36 minutes there against Toronto. I could maybe be talked into being slightly concerned about him playing more minutes than he's used to over the course of the season, but I don't think that's a huge concern until we get, 40 plus games in the year at least. So yeah, expecting a fully healthy version here of the New York Knicks. And so are the odds makers, guys. We've got the Knicks here at -7 playing at home. We've got a total of 236.5. Atlanta, they are only 10 and 15 against the spread. That's a number that's been headed in a very positive direction lately, though. The Knicks are 11, 12, and 1 against the spread. We actually see both teams showing trends towards the over, with Atlanta being a massive over team, 17 and 8 to the over this season. The Knicks are 14 and 10 to the over. So with a total of 236.5, though, that's a pretty big number, and I'm expecting a playoff-like atmosphere in this game, like what we're seeing in these cup games. So I'm going to lean just a hair here towards the under, but not an over-under play that I'm very interested in, guys. The main play I'm interested in on this first game of the night, I definitely like the Atlanta Hawks here +7. And a big part of the reason for that is these two teams have faced each other already this season. We saw Atlanta get the 121-116 win in that game, despite Cat putting up 34 points. We saw a relatively healthy, addition here of the Knicks. Precious Achiuwa was not back yet, but other than that, they were good to go, and they just could not make it happen there. I mean, we saw a massive day from the Hawks in a few kind of unexpected places. I mean, Richeche putting up 33 points, probably not something you can count on again, but at least something to take into consideration. Atlanta shot 40% from three-point range, but the Knicks shot 46.8% from three and still lost. It looked like the bench there for the Hawks significantly outpacing the Knicks bench, and I think that's something that's possible to happen again in this one. They're a little bit healthier now as well. Trae Young didn't even play that well, only 7 of 21 from the field. We saw decent shooting across the board there for the Hawks, but really, I think this is a pretty good spot for Trae Young to go into Madison Square Garden and play spoiler once more. I would be a little bit concerned maybe he tries to do too much and, reverts back to, Trae taking some maybe ill-advised super deep threes and eating up a little bit too much of the, efficiency numbers that he's been garnering lately. So we'll see how that goes, but definitely leaning towards the Atlanta Hawks getting 7 points in this one. We've got a bunch of player props loaded up for this game as well, guys, and First up, we've got one I like quite a bit. Clint Capella here over 9.5 rebounds at -110. He's been over that number comfortably in 4 out of his last 5 games. The last time he faced the Knicks, though, he only had 16 boards, he only had 6 boards, something I think could certainly change in this one. So we'll see if that one goes in the pinned comment. It seems like very good value, though, especially the way Capella has been playing as of lately. And with, an up-paced game, or at least maybe an up-paced game, we're going to see plenty of rebounding opportunities there for a big man who can definitely run the floor. Another player prop I like, guys, is Jalen Johnson. He's been playing pretty well, but I'm a little bit worried about that shoulder. I think you might want to look at him under 28.5 points plus rebounds at -120. Obviously, an ongoing shoulder issue can make you a little bit less likely to be, smashing it there on the boards. We are concerned about this play, though. He did, just destroy that number. He had 23 points and 15 rebounds the last time he faced the Knicks. But like I said, dealing with a shoulder issue, we might even see him play slightly reduced minutes if that's actually something that's significantly bothering him. So keep an eye on that one. I don't think it's going in the pinned comment, but I do think he could have possibly a slightly down night. On the Knicks side here, we've got a few that we like as well. I think Karl-Anthony Towns is probably not going to take a crazy amount of three-pointers in this game, and we have a lot of recent history to back that up. I'm looking at him under 5.5 three-pointers attempted at -160. He shot exactly 5 or less three-pointers in the last 7 games in a row. I don't think we're going to see him come out and suddenly shoot an infinite number of threes in this game. I think taking him under 5.5 here, even at a not ideal price of -160, is very good value. I would be shocked if we see the Knicks completely deviating from how they normally play here just because they're taking the Hawks or just because they're in the NBA Cup quarterfinals. Another Karl-Anthony Towns prop that I like, guys. He has been an absolute demon there on the boards. I like Cat over 12.5 rebounds at -115. Not the worst price in the world. He had 16 rebounds the last time he played against the Hawks. He's been over that number in 6 out of the last 7 games. I think that's a great spot for Cat to have a big night and put up quite a few rebounds. I don't think we're going to see him shoot a crazy amount of threes, like I was saying, but I do think those rebounding numbers will certainly be there. And last but not least, guys, this is one that I find very interesting. I like Jalen Brunson over 2.5 turnovers at -140. He's had 3 or more turnovers in 4 out of his last 5 games. The last time he faced the Hawks, he only had 3 turnovers. So, okay, that's still enough. That still gets us there. And he's going to be going up against a very tough defender out there in Dyson Daniels. At least at some points, he's going to be guarded by Dyson Daniels. Even Trae Young can, create some turnovers out there from time to time. He'll gamble there in the passing lanes and stuff like that. And we've got a lot of long, athletic players there for the Atlanta Hawks that can make things a little bit tough on the, somewhat undersized Jalen Brunson. So even if he has a nice night, he could still easily get to those 3 turnovers. So that's another play I think has excellent value. Now, guys, let's jump over to our second game of the night. We're looking at the Golden State Warriors going on the road in this one to take on the Houston Rockets. We've seen the Warriors and the Rockets play twice already this season. The Warriors actually won both of those games. Golden State comes into this one not having their best time this season. They've hit a bit of a rough patch. They're down to 14-9 on the season. Obviously not a terrible number by any stretch, but they're coming off a tough loss against the Timberwolves, but then a bounce back 114-106 win over the Timberwolves. They also beat the Rockets, a very recent matchup between these two teams, 99-93 in a game we saw the Warriors rest most of their main pieces. No Steph, no Draymond in that game, and Golden State really showed off the depth. So we'll see what they can do here, guys. I mean, in that game against the Timberwolves, that nice bounce back win, Draymond looking pretty funny, sprinting down the court full speed, doing the night at the end of the game. But whatever, he had a key bucket there, only scoring 6 points in the game though. Maybe we should chill a little bit on the crazy celebration. Kuminga had another nice night, 20 points for him, 30 points for Steph. Buddy Hield found that shot again. About time. It'd been a little bit. He was 7 of 13 there from 3 for 27 points. He actually led the team with a +17 ±. The Warriors as a team shot 39% from 3-point range. That'll definitely work, and they had a 6 rebound edge there in the rebounding department. They didn't do a great job of defending the 3. They actually allowed the Timberwolves to shoot 45.2% from 3, 19 of 42 there from deep. Anthony Edwards was 5 of 9, but yeah, they were able to, figure things out there in the end. A nice win there for the Golden State Warriors, who played some amazing defense in the fourth quarter after playing some amazing offense there in the third quarter, guys. They scored 44 points there in the third quarter. The third quarter Warriors maybe making a little bit of a, resurgence here. Something that we saw from them at many different stages in what was, a dynasty that I kind of feel like has come to an end, but very, very good stuff from there in the third quarter. So they've got to feel great about that. They come into this game in terms of their health. It's not looking perfect, guys. We do see Moses Moody. He's going to be out for this game. So that, gives a little little bit of a hit to that depth, but I don't think that's a huge deal, guys. This team honestly has too many guys that need minutes. A guy that I would like to see play some minutes in this game, though, and we might not see him play too many minutes, is Andrew Wiggins. He's been dealing with an on-again, off-again ankle injury for the last couple weeks now, to be honest, and I worry, he's technically questionable for this game. If he does play, the chances of him re-aggravating that ankle and, not being able to play very many minutes in this game, definitely, a pretty high chance. If you've played basketball really at any level, if you're out there on an ankle that's even slightly unstable, the chances of you rolling it again are very, very high. You don't even have to, it could be a non-contact ankle roll even. You don't have to step on somebody's foot. You could just put your foot down wrong and all of a sudden you are limping to the sidelines and you're only putting weight on one leg. So we'll see what Wiggins can do out there. Other than that, Moses Moody out, but besides that, we see the Warriors very healthy coming into this game as they go on the road to take on the Houston Rockets, who also come into this one fresh off of a win, guys. They lost that 99-93 game at the Warriors, but then they went, to LA to take on the Clippers and got a nice 117-106 win there. So that's got to feel pretty good. Jalen Green played great in that game, putting up 31 points. You love to see that. They did a decent job there against, it was a Clippers team without Harden, so let's not freak out too much, guys, but they did some positive things and got a comfortable 11-point win. Jabari Smith Jr., not the biggest night, but 13 points there, 31 from Jalen Green, like we said. Amen Thompson, 22 points there, and yeah, a nice win for a team that wasn't at full strength there in the Houston Rockets, so a very good night. They'll definitely take that. 36% from three, no problem there. They had a very dominant rebounding performance, so a lot of positives there for Houston, who have been one of the best stories of the season. 16-8 on the year, and they come into this one, looking pretty healthy. We do see Alperen Sengun there on the injury report, but I fully expect him to play. He's dealing with a left knee soreness. You're not going to miss an NBA Cup game for left knee soreness, guys. And he played 36 minutes back on the 8th against the Clippers. So he's going to be out there. Steven Adams with a knee issue, guys. It looks like he's going to play as well. He only played 10 minutes there against the Clippers, but it's nice to have another massive big guy there to, give Sengun some rest. And other than that, they're looking very, very healthy for this game. Fred VanVleet, good to go. Jalen Green, Jabari Smith Jr., Dylan Brooks will be out there causing something to happen. You never really know with him what it'll be. Could be something bad, could be something good, could be something absolutely wild. So yeah, the Rockets basically at full strength for this game. In the two matchups that these teams have had earlier this season, we saw the Warriors, what was this one? The first one was back on November 2nd. Golden State got a 127-121 overtime win there against the Rockets at Houston, so a nice day there. Buddy Hield really led the way, shot the ball really, really well. That was a game where we saw, Steph Curry did not even play. He actually hasn't faced the Rockets yet this season, so that's definitely something to take into consideration. The Warriors have beaten Houston twice this year, and neither time did they have Steph Curry, so that's kind of a big deal. The Warriors shot the lights out from three in that game, and we saw, Fred VanVleet have a real stinker out there in his 40 minutes. So we'll see if he can bounce back a little bit in the last time these two teams played, and that was very recently, guys. When was that game? Only a couple games ago. I think it was back on December 5th. So, not ancient history, that's for sure. We saw the Warriors get the 99-93 win there behind 33 points from Kuminga, 23 points there from Andrew Wiggins. No Steph, no Draymond Green in that game, and they came away with a win anyway, really utilizing that depth. They played great defense out there, only allowing Houston to shoot 10 of 38 there from three. The Warriors had a big rebounding edge too, so a very nice game there for the Warriors. And looking at the numbers for this game, we see the Rockets are actually 2-point favorites playing at home. We've got an over-under of 221.5. The Warriors 14-9 against the spread. They are 12-11 to the under. Houston actually 16-8 against the spread. They are 12-11-1 to the over. Not interested in the over-under play for this game, guys. Not interested at all, but I am very interested in the Golden State Warriors at +2. This is a play that's definitely going into the pinned comment. You could even just take the Golden State Warriors there on the money line. I think they win this game the vast majority of the time. They've already shown they can handle anything that Houston can really throw at them. And yeah, they've done all that without Steph Curry. I think he makes their team better, guys. I don't think that's a controversial take. I do think he makes this team better, and I'm expecting big things from him in this game. And speaking of big things from Steph Curry, guys, let's go ahead and hop into some player props. And right off the bat, guys, first one that I like Steph here over 24.5 points at -105. He's going to be super motivated here in an NBA Cup game. He also is going against Dylan Brooks, somebody who he pretty clearly does not like very much, and the Warriors in general do not like, and I don't really know anybody who likes him, to be honest. So I think we're going to see Steph go off. Getting to 25 points, not too crazy for him at all. I mean, in his last game, guys, I know he passed that number. I think he scored 30 there against the Timberwolves his last time out. Yeah, we saw Steph put up 30 on a relatively efficient, but not really the top of what he can do type of shooting night. So good stuff there. Expecting Steph to have a good game. I like Draymond Green here to have a nice assist night, guys. Over 5.5 assists is at even odds, and at least 6 assists in his last 5 games in a row. And he's obviously very fired up, coming off that, very important drive around Rudy Gobert. So, yeah, give me Draymond here to get at least 6 assists. I also like Kevon Looney, guys, over 6.5 boards at -130. He's been over that number in 3 out of the last 4 games. He had 11 boards the last time against the Rockets. We do have to be concerned with how many minutes Looney will actually get. That's something that, varies pretty wildly at times. But I think Kerr trusts him the most out of any of his big guys. And here in an NBA Cup game, I think he gets enough minutes to get to 7 rebounds. On the Rockets side, guys, I like Amen Thompson here over 11.5 points at -130. He's had 14 and 18 in the games against Golden State. He had 22 in his last game. He's been playing some of the best ball here of his very, very young career. I think we see him get to 12 points in this game pretty comfortably, whether it's a win or a loss. And onto a very interesting play that I think has some interesting, maybe solid value even. I like Dillon Brooks here over 1.5 turnovers at +160. That's a very, very nice price. He's had 2 or more turnovers in 2 out of his last 3 games. He's going to have, some pretty good defenders on him at different times. The Warriors have plenty of guys that like to get into those passing lanes. They have guys that like to play close physical defense. They're going to let teams get away with a little bit more here on defense since we're playing in an NBA Cup game. We have more of a playoff type atmosphere, more of playoff type foul calls. So I definitely think this is a very good spot to look at Dillon Brooks turning the ball over a couple times, and at +160, you don't even have to hit this bet that often for it to show a profit. So that's all I've got for tonight, guys. Check out the second channel. We might be putting up an NCAA basketball pick for that one later, in the morning there on Wednesday. So we'll see if that happens. But regardless, guys, thanks for watching this Tuesday video. Please hit the like button. It helps get these videos promoted to more people. Comment down in the comment section with any questions you have on today's slate. I'm more than happy to get back to you. And we will see you guys tomorrow for more sports betting action. And don't forget to head over to stumpthespread.com to get access to all of our premium and our free plays and to get on that free email list.